Now let us start with the last element of directing, that is communication. Communication is the lifeline of everything. You need to communicate even if you are at your home with your family or you are at your workplace, because if you not communicate, how will you exchange your ideas, how will you exchange your opinions, right? So communication is must. It is the lifeline of relationships, whether you are at home with your family, with your parents, or you are at your workplace with your colleagues. You need to communicate with everyone, because if you can't communicate, then it means that nothing is going to work. Communication can be done in various ways, right? Like you can communicate with anybody orally, like I am communicating with you digitally, virtually. You can communicate with anyone like through some messages, like it means like in written form. You can communicate with anyone through even wink of an eye. You can communicate with anyone with your body language, with your gestures, right? So it means that there are various ways by which we can learn how to communicate with one another, because communication is the first thing which we learn, and communication can only make a person a human being. Got it? So now let us start with the next topic, that is communication. First of all, let us discuss about the communication process. The first step in the process of communication is sender. Now who is the sender? Sender is the one who wants to communicate anything. Like here I am the sender, because I want to communicate few things with you. I want to make you understand the process of communication. I want to teach you business studies. It means that sender is the one who wants to communicate or who wants to send any message. Now a sender can be a client, a sender can be like an institution also. Like you might have seen, no, whenever you get any message from school side, there the sender becomes the school. So a sender can be an institution, a sender can be an individual. Then the next is message. Message means the content or the information which we want to communicate. Like here I want to explain you the process of communication. So here the message is the process of communication itself. So message means the thing, the subject matter which we want to communicate. Next is media. Media means the way, the path or the method by which we send our messages to the other party. Like here, if I want to teach you something, then how I am doing that? I am preparing a video lecture and I am sending it through internet, right? So here media means the net, internet becomes the way out by which we are giving our messages. Same way, if you write a letter to somebody, then their post office and postman like becomes the media by which you are giving the messages. So fine. So media means the way out by which the message is transmitted from sender to the receiver. Then here comes receiver. Receiver means the one like for whom we are doing this, for whom the sender is writing a message, for whom the sender is sending a message. So receiver means the person for whom the information has been drafted. Like suppose if school gives you some message, then you are the receiver and school is the sender, and we are sending messages to to you through WhatsApp or through text messages. So here the technology, the mobiles, the internet, they becomes the media, and message means the information which we give you. Now the process of communication doesn't end here. Why? Because we need to take feedback at the last. What do you mean by feedback? Feedback means like if I have sent the messages to you, until and unless you not give your response, that whether whatever I have explained has been clear to you or not. If you have some doubts, then please tell us. It means feedback means the response which is given by receiver to the sender. If we don't get feedback, no, it is a kind of one-way communication. Like it happens because many a times we need to ask so many things from you, that have you seen the videos, have you done your work, this and that. It means we are waiting to take feedback from you so that we can ensure this thing, that whether the process of communication has been completed or not. So feedback means the response which is given by the receiver to the sender, so that we can ensure that the process of communication has been completed. But at times what happens, like suppose if I like take an example of marking attendance, what do people generally say? Like, ma'am, some network problem is there, some connectivity problem is there, right? So it means that sometimes the message which the sender wants to give to the receiver doesn't reach to the receiver on proper time because of noise. So what is noise? Noise basically is a kind of obstacle in the process of communication. Noise means something which hampers the process of communication. Noise doesn't let the message reach to the receiver in the way the sender wants to. A kind of obstacle which is created in the process of communication is known as noise. So noise can be anything out of these, like poor telephone connection. If I'm talking to somebody over the phone, then due to due to sometimes network issues and all, I'm not able to hear, or I'm not able to, or my voice doesn't go to the person to whom I'm talking. It means poor telephone connectivity can also be a cause of noise, and it is a kind of obstacle in the process of communication. Then ambiguous symbol. Ambiguous means which is unclear. Suppose if I'm drafting a message and the words and the symbols which I'm writing in that message is not clear to you, those symbols are new to you, then obviously this process is totally waste. Suppose if I send you a message, and if I'm sending a message to you and I'm writing that message in Tamil, will you be able to understand it? No. Why? Because the language, the symbol is not known. It's you are not familiar with that. And inattentive receiver, the major cause of noise. Sometimes a sender is sending the message to the receiver, but the person for whom the message is sent, like you are the receiver, if you are inattentive, if you are not interested in listening, if you are not paying attention to what is being told to you, then obviously you're inattentive. You are inattentive, and this is a cause of noise, and just because of this reason the process of communication is not completed. Faulty decoding. Decoding means here, decoding simply means when now, before explaining you the meaning of the word decoding, I would like to explain you the meaning of the word encoding also. See, as I told you, message means the content which I want to give it to you. So what will I do? I'll encode that message. Encoding the message means transferring or making the message or send Now, next is faulty decoding. Now, before explaining you the meaning of the word decoding, I would like to explain you the meaning of the word encoding. Encoding means translating the information or the message which I want to convey. Translating the message means, suppose if some idea comes into my mind, then I want to share that idea with you, then obviously either I have to call you, or I have to send a message to you, or I have to send an email to you. It means that what I have to do, I have to transfer the idea or the message into some words, into lines, right? If I suppose if I want to give you a message verbally, then I have to make a call to you. So encoding means translating the messages into words, right? Or even through symbols also. Like suppose you might have seen there at traffic signals. There also the encoding is done. Their encoding is not done through words, rather through symbols. Whenever you see the red light, you stop. Whenever you see the green light, you start moving, right? You might have seen some, a board in which some arrows are there, that if you want to go this way, if you want to go that way, right? And then if like sometimes a board is there displaying the speed limit also, and sometimes instructions are also written, wear the helmet, and so it means this is also known as encoding of messages only, because the person is not going to speak verbally, right? That stop or move, simply the message has been encoded or the message has been given to you through some symbols, and those symbols are like red light or green light or yellow light. Fine. So encoding means translating the message. Suppose once message has been encoded and once message has been sent to you also. Suppose if you are able to decode it wrong, like suppose if a person doesn't know that whenever the traffic light becomes red, then you need to stop, उसने क्या किया, रुकने की जगह उसने चलना शुरू कर दिया. This is known as faulty decoding. Faulty decoding means wrong interpretation of message on the part of receiver. Encoding is done by sender because he is going to give you the message, but how you are going to understand that message, that depends upon the receiver. So decoding is done by the receiver. Decoding means try to get the meaning out of the message which is being given to you. Sometimes we don't understand the message and we react in a different way. Like suppose if I send you that a message to you that you have to show me the notes of the chapter number so and so. Fine. As you were inattentive, you did not pay attention. Like you did not read the message carefully and you send me notes of something else or some other chapter. Like suppose if I tell you to give me the notes of business studies chapter so and so, but just because you could not decode the message properly, you did not do the work, you did not submit me the work, और आपने मुझे कुछ और भेज दिया उसकी जगह. So it happens. So decoding means how the receiver is going to interpret the message, or how the receiver is going to understand that message, or how the receiver is going to understand this thing, that what is being conveyed to him. Got it? If decoding is not properly done, then the process of communication will be useless. So it means that sender, the one who is going to send you the message. Message means the idea or the information which I want to convey you. Now if I am conveying that idea through you in words or in language or through symbols, like this is known as encoding. Then we send message to you through some media. Then you are going to receive that message and then you are going to decode it. Decode it means you try to find out its meaning, or you try to understand that what is being told you. If like decoding is not done properly, then obviously the process of communication will be useless. Now after decoding the message, the receiver should send the feedback to the sender so that they can understand, or the sender can make ensure that the process of communication has been completed. Now noise can be due to faulty decoding. Suppose if I am talking to you over the phone and someone is shouting around, then obviously you will not be able to understand what am I talking to you. Then sound of running buses, then poor network connectivity. All these are the various causes of noise which leads to obstacle in the process of communication. Now communication is of basically two types, right? Or you may say that the channel of communication is of two types. Channel of communication means the path through which we are sending the messages to the receiver. So that path can be of two types: formal communication, informal communication. You already know the meaning of formal and informal very well because you have done this in chapter organizing, formal organizing and informal organizing. So the communication which is done in formal organization is known as formal communication. The type of communication that take place in informal organization is known as informal communication. So formal communication means when we are communicating through a proper channel, when we are following a proper channel or scalar chain or chain of hierarchy to communicate. So that is known as formal communication. So under formal communication, it means that we need to follow a proper scalar chain. If A want to communicate to C, like if A want to communicate to D, then A need to first of all send a message to B, B will send a message to C, C will send a message to D, right? It means we are following a proper channel. So this kind of communication we basically found at our workplace. This kind of communication is authentic. No doubt it takes time, but it is authentic also, right? And basically what kind of information we are giving through formal chains, like it depends that who is giving information to whom. So formal communication can take place in two ways. Formal communication can be vertical and formal communication can be horizontal. Vertical means either superior is communicating to subordinate or subordinating is communicating to superior. If superior is communicating to subordinate, it's clear कि boss हमें क्या order देगा. Obviously, he'll issue some guidelines to us, he'll issue some circulars to us, he'll issue some instructions to us, fine, or some kind of like suppose if the owner wants to hold a meeting, then he can pass a circular for the same, right? So basically the instructions, when the superior instructs the subordinate, then it is known as formal communication. But at times the subordinate also wants to communicate to the superior, then it is also a vertical communication. तो ये कैसा communication है? Superior subordinate क्या बात करेंगे superior से? The subordinate can share their grievances, the subordinate can share their ideas, their suggestion, their problems. So all these things comes under vertical communication. I hope this thing is clear to you. Channel of communication means the path through which we communicate, like the path through which the sender communicates with the receiver. Now, if this sort of communication is taking place in a formal organization, it becomes a formal communication. If the communication is taking place in informal organization, it becomes an informal communication. So, under formal communication, we have to follow a proper scalar chain. So it is very time consuming also. Now suppose if superior is communicating to the subordinate, it means he might be giving some orders, some instructions to the subordinates. Similarly, if subordinate is talking to superior, then might be he is giving some ideas or some suggestions or grievances or problems. Now, communication under formal organizations can be horizontal also. Horizontal means at the same level. When the person, the sender and the receiver, they both are at the same level. But under vertical communication, the one is superior and the other is subordinate. But under horizontal communication, the sender and the receiver, they both are at the same level. Suppose if I say a person who is working as a production manager and a person who is working as a sales manager in a company, if they want to communicate with each other, it is known as horizontal communication. But it can be informal and it can't be informal. I am talking right now about formal communication only. तो अब एक प्रोडक्शन मैनेजर सेल्स मैनेजर से क्या बात करेगा? Might be they want to exchange, might be the production manager wants to give some suggestion to the sales manager कि आप प्रोडक्ट को ऐसे डिज़ाइन कीजिए so that the sales can be increased. Or the even sales manager can also communicate with the production manager. Sales manager क्या communicate करेंगे? Because sales manager they are directly in touch with the customers, so they can they can pass on the consumer's suggestion to the production manager, so that they can produce the product as per the needs and need and demand of the consumers, right? So communication at the same level is known as horizontal level and different level is known as vertical level communication, but both of them take place under formal communication. Similarly, informal communication means the communication which exists in informal organization, like a person can be a person who is working in production manager might have a friend in a person who is working in finance manager, दोनों friends हो सकते हैं आपस में. So under informal communication, what do you share? You share your feelings, you share your ideas, you share your opinions, right? So informal communication is not authentic, because you know that under informal communication rumors can spread very easily. So this rest of the this topic you have already done in chapter organizing, so you can just simply take a read and then these things will be clear to you. But majority of the things I have explained which are new to you, that is elements of communication process, the cause of noises and these very topics. So now let us start with some more points which leads to, or some points which can be proved as a barrier to the communication process. Thank you.